Ukraine, that's a demon. I mean, when they're up there celebrating butchering the Bill of Rights and getting excited, and Lindsey Graham hopping around on stage, we played it last night going, we're going to arrest citizens, and when you ask for a lawyer, we're going to say, no lawyer for you. I mean, it's just some scary, power-tripping, just prancing pansy. Tyrants are usually little limp-wristed pansies for whatever reason. They like to prance around, and I'm just sick of them all. Anything else, ma'am?
Yes, sir. They didn't know at the time what was hitting them. They were fooled. They were like we, like some of us are. They thought, oh, he's going to help us after World War I devastation, yes. and also the currency was worth nothing. But
well, that's the deal. The Hitler type stuff comes next. This banker breakdown, that's what the system's going to call for. A dictatorship is the answer to problems. And then the real answer is going the opposite direction. Great points. Good to hear from you. Appreciate you holding. All right, Vulture, Andrew, Leon, Jeff. And we got Vulture. We also have Keebler calling. We're going to be right back on the other side with your phone call. Straight ahead. I'm going right into them. Bam, bam, bam. 800-25-99.
We're on the march.
Well, I'm a bit late getting back in here for this segment, thanks to Aaron Dykes. His Chihuahua Rocky loves me so much. Anybody in the office, dogs always love me. I go to people's houses, and they say their dogs usually hate everybody, but dogs love me. They've always loved me. And so Rocky was begging to get in here, and he actually ran in the studio. I had to kick him out of here before I went live. Actually, Chris, will you bring me Rocky for Prisonplanet.tv viewers? By the way, I forgot to add, we've added a feature where you can watch the daytime radio/TV show at prisonplanet.tv. If you go to Infowars.com, normally where it's that audio flash player, now that opens to a window of different audio options, but then there's also the video of the show there at Infowars.com. I'll bring him to me. What a good creature. Come here, boy. I'm like, why am I running Rocky off, actually? I mean, if he wants to come see me, he can. Are you a little bit nervous now? So you don't like Chris, do you? I'm just joking. He likes everybody. Come here. You're a good boy? You want to co-host a show with me? Huh? Is that what you like? I don't get kisses? What? Are you camera shy? You always give me kisses. I don't get kisses right now? What's wrong? This is a cute little chihuahua. All right, let's go ahead and go back to the calls. Vulture in Oklahoma, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Alex?
I'm doing good, but I'm here with an Al-Qaeda operative. It supports Ron Paul. This dog does, so it's not a good person. It's an extremist.
An operative, too. And not only that, I'm a veteran, and I know I'm going to be targeted later on. I'm probably on some fusion list right now for even calling in and having my Ron Paul flag outside. So,
oh, you got a Ron Paul flag? I mean, we've got the Homeland Security memos. They tell cops, you see that, it's a terrorist. I mean, if somebody actually supports what America's founded on, that's bad. I mean, again, I want to say this. America doesn't exist anymore, except in our minds. The criminals that run the government are admitted criminals. The White House has been caught shipping guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment and drugs back in. It's in all the court documents. But the dinosaur media will only cover 1% of that. It's actually come out in the New York Times now. But the point is, these are criminals. These are criminals. None of us are safe until they're removed. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no doubt. I agree with you there. And I have firsthand experience with dealing with these people. I used to work for the Oklahoma Supreme Court here. And, you know, I've dealt with some of the justices. And these people do not think like most people walking around. They look at us like we're animals. I've even heard one of them say that we are, you know, regular people are animals. Well,
they do. They put chemicals in the food and water. They treat us just like animals. They manipulate us just like animals. And they get this incredible arrogance, but only by us buying into their lies do we become animals. Tell me more about how they call us animals.
Well, it's you know, people get to talking when they have a few drinks, and I've been to a few events where you know, these are the kind of folks that they like to drink. You know, that's their cup of tea, and you know, their true selves come out. I mean, they have a fake front that they put up for everybody, and then there's, you know, there's the real person behind it, and you know, especially alcohol. That's the drug that's the truth bringer more than any of them out there. People act their true nature.
No, it's the truth serum.
Exactly.
So, yeah, like, I guess back in the day when I drink some, I buy everybody dinner, but people that aren't very nice start acting all crazy when they've been drinking. Now, let's expand on this. What'd you originally call in about, Vulture?
Well, I originally called in because the reason I left working there, I started seeing some things that they were doing, some things they were trying to put in place. And, you know, after being a listener for your, you know, with your show for a couple of years and working where I worked and seeing the things that I saw and the attitudes, you know, towards, you know, people and in general, and the architecture they were putting in for their new tracking for people across the state. It's a new software they're wanting to put in. It's a unified case management system. And this will allow them to swipe your card, and I know this is available in some other states, but there's a big push to nationalize it. They'll be able to swipe your card when you get pulled over. It'll bring up every bit of information about you. They won't have to deal with dispatch anymore. And if you're wanted for something on the other side of the state, they'll be able to, you know, haul you in right then and there. You get transported, and it's all part of it.
And again, that would be great, except that criminals run the system, and so they're undoubtedly, the entire architecture of it is pointed at the American people. And the tyrants, in many cases, and there are some good members of Congress, some good members, you know, some good judges out there, but by and large, more and more, the criminals, the control freaks, the tyrants are recruiting their brethren into more and more positions. As the public wakes up to them, they're going to get more and more disgusted with us and have more and more hatred for us.
Well, I'm scared of the end game. Like I said, I know because I'm a veteran, I'm going to be targeted. And I tell you one reason above all, veterans are going to be targeted. And it's because we have the training and the ability to create other soldiers.
Now, that's it. Force multipliers. Look, I appreciate your call, but listen, don't be afraid of them coming after you. And I understand you're concerned. That's what you mean by afraid. Be afraid that you're not going to make every day as full as it should be, and treat every day as if it's your last. So many times, I look at myself in the mirror before I drive into work, I'm brushing my teeth, and I think, you could do a lot better job. You do this radio and TV so much that it just becomes routine, and you don't rise to the occasion of the magnitude of what you're doing. Do this next radio show like it's your last day. I mean, I've given speeches to the city council of Austin. You've seen it in The Matrix of Evil. And I remember Martin Sheen and Emilio Estevez, that's what turned them onto my show. Somebody gave them the videotape of that, and they were so amazed. Because you watch it, it is like a movie, some closing argument. And we didn't have the votes to defeat the Patriot Act here in town and have them have a law against it and say they would uphold the Constitution. But my speech turned them, and the speech of others, and they said, some of them, to actually vote against the Patriot Act and for the Constitution. But the point is, we all have that capability to really communicate and really cut through all the baloney and really reach people. And I also want to challenge you out there, because every time I get mad at myself, I remember, hey, at least I'm taking action. I'm getting in the arena every day. And that's why we've been effective. And yes, we should treat every day like it's our last, but now is the time to reach out to people across the board. Now is the time to do banner hangs. Now is the time to call into talk radio. Now is the time to send emails. Now is the time to shoot your own YouTube videos, just talking about issues, whether they get 100 views or 10,000. Now is the time to go get a local access TV show, or go buy an hour a week on the local talk station on the weekend. And if your show gets popular, in 2 years or a year, you might end up on weekdays being paid to be on. A lot of people have done that, what I told them to do. I was blessed. I was paid day one to be on the radio because I went and did an access TV show, but paid to be on there, a paltry sum. And then they saw I had, quote, talent, and they were patriots. and put me on the air. Then other management came in and tried to tell me not to do that, and then they fired me. But it didn't matter. I had been launched. And so many people call me and they say, yeah, I went and paid for an hour on Sundays and it got popular. And so they gave me 2 hours and now they've got me filling in for the other host during the week when they're gone. And then they call back. Now I've been given a weeknight show and I've got tens of thousands of listeners. Look, there was a fellow who works for Rand Paul's campaign. I'll just leave it at that. Works in his office in a prominent role, and he was one of my listeners, and so he went and volunteered when you heard Rand Paul basically launch his candidacy here, and it was our listeners that showed the first interest to get him kind of to go ahead and go for it, and so most of the people that went and volunteered day one were my listeners, and just because he was somebody who was there from the beginning and would actually get the job done and work 18 hours a day, now he is prominent in Rand Paul's office and now is going to be involved in other things. I mean, he was never a political scientist. He didn't go to school from that. He was a veteran, just a listener of the show. And now his whole destiny has been changed by going and volunteering. He didn't think he'd ever... But see, a lot of times, so much of this world is about showing up. You want to get in shape? Show up at the gym every day. See what happens. You want to learn a foreign language? Show up every day and study it for an hour. You'll learn it. You want to learn how to defend yourself? Go take jiu-jitsu or taekwondo or judo. You're going to get good. I mean, look, I'm going to go to your calls. I was always a total, exercise fiend. Never really ate that well, but I ran 6 miles every other day, lift weights 7 days a week, was addicted to it. And then I got into radio and TV and got so busy, I just gave it up for about 6, 7, 8 years, gained 40, 50 pounds, got totally out of shape. And then the last 5 years, I've been trying to jog, trying to lift, trying to get back in shape, didn't do it. So I said, about a month and a half ago, I said, I'm going whole hog. I'm going to jog twice a day, almost every day. I'm going to lift weights at least 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm not going to stop. And I've lost now 25 pounds in a month and a half. 25 pounds. You know what? I'm not talking. I'm doing it. I'm going to lose another 35. I'm going to lose another 35. And again, I hit a bump in the road. I've never had a weightlifting accident in all my years of lifting weights, playing football, everything. But I was lifting Saturday afternoon. I'd been for a jog. I went in to lift, and so I don't injure myself. I'm doing light weights, 20 reps, 30 reps. I had 120 pounds, with the bar included on an incline. And I was watching some of these high schoolers that were in there, and they were doing explosive lifting with pulleys. And I thought, yeah, I ought to try some of that because that's good to, build the fast twitch muscles. I've been pretty much building slow twitch. I said, that'll burn some weight. So I said, I'm going to go put lighter weight on here, and I'm going to do 30 reps or so. And I'm going to try to explode. Well, I get the weight, and of course, it's so light, I'm not really having to explode. But about 25 into it, I'm having to explode to get it off my chest. Well, I exploded too much. My hands were tired. It was the last exercise I was doing of about 15 or so. It was like my 5th set of it. It flies out of my hands another foot in the air, and I couldn't stop. It falls right on my chest. I got a huge bruise across me, cracked my sternum. It hurts to breathe, but you know what? I got so out of shape, I deserve the pain. I've been running every day despite the fact that it hurts. And I'm just doing it. Just like the Nike saying, and I don't particularly like Nike because they're slave camps, but the point is, just do it. And it's the same thing in politics. And we got Vulture. We also have Keebler calling. We're going to be right back on the other side with your phone call straight ahead. I'm going right into them. Bam, bam, bam. 800-25-99-231.
We're on the march.
Well, I'm a bit late getting back in here for this segment, thanks to Aaron Dykes. His Chihuahua Rocky loves me so much. Anybody in the office, dogs always love me. I go to people's houses, and they say their dogs usually hate everybody, but dogs love me. They've always loved me. And so Rocky was begging. That's a demon. I mean, when they're up there celebrating butchering the Bill of Rights, and getting excited, and Lindsey Graham hopping around on stage. We played it last night going, we're going to arrest citizens, and when you ask for a lawyer, we're going to say, no lawyer for you. I mean, it's just some scary, power-tripping, just prancing pansy. Tyrants are usually little limp-wristed pansies for whatever reason. They like to prance around, and I'm just sick of them all. Anything else, ma'am?
Yes, sir. They didn't know at the time what was hitting them. They were fooled. They were like like some of us are. They thought, oh, he's going to help us after World War I devastation,
yes.
and also the currency was worth nothing. But
well, that's the deal. The Hitler type stuff comes next. This banker breakdown, that's what the system's going to call for. A dictatorship is the answer to problems. And then the real answer is going the opposite direction. Great points. Good to hear from you. Appreciate you holding. All right, Vulture, Andrew, Leon, Jeff at Infowars.com. Oh, bring him to me. What a good creature. Come here, boy. I'm like, why am I running Rocky off, actually? I mean, if he wants to come see me, he can. Are you a little bit nervous now? So you don't like Chris, do you? I'm just joking. He likes everybody. Come here. You're a good boy? You want to co-host a show with me? Is that what you like? I don't get kisses? What? Are you camera shy? You always give me kisses. I don't get kisses, right? To get in here, and he actually ran in the studio. I had to kick him out of here before I went live. Actually, Chris, will you bring me Rocky for Prisonplanet.tv viewers? By the way, I forgot to add, we've added a feature where you can watch the daytime radio/TV show at prisonplanet.tv. If you go to Infowars.com, normally where it's that audio flash player, now that opens to a window of different audio options, but then there's also the video of the show there.